Matteo Messina Denaro, Italian pronunciation, Matteo Messina Denaro, born the 26th of April 1962, also known as Diabolic, is a Sicilian mafia boss. He got his nickname from the Italian comic book character of the same name. He is considered to be one of the new leaders of Cosa Nostra after the arrest of Bernardo Provenzano on the 11th of April 2006, and the arrest of Salvatore Lo Piccolo in November 2007. Matteo Messina Denaro became known nationally on the 12th of April 2001 when the magazine L'Espresso put him on the cover with the headline, "Ecco il nuovo capo della mafia," "Here is the new head of the mafia," or "Here is the new mafia boss." He has been a fugitive on the most wanted list since 1993, and according to Forbes magazine, he is among the 10 most wanted criminals in the world. With the deaths of Bernardo Provenzano in 2016 and Salvatore Riina in 2017, Messina Denaro is seen as the unchallenged boss of all bosses within the mafia. Early life. Matteo Messina Denaro was born in Castelvetrano in the province of Trapani, Sicily. His father, Francesco Messina Denaro, known as Don Ciccio, was the capomandamento of Castelvetrano and the head of the Mafia Commission of the Trapani region. Matteo learned to use a gun at 14, and committed his first of many murders at 18. He is estimated to have killed at least 50 people. "I filled a cemetery all by myself," he once bragged. He made a reputation by murdering rival boss Vincenzo Milazzo from Alcamo and strangling Milazzo's 3 months pregnant girlfriend. His father started as a campiere, armed guard of the Violi family, wealthy landowners who were among the founders of the Banco Secola. He became the fattor, overseer of an estate of the Violi land holdings. They handed over a significant estate in the area Zangaro, Castelvetrano, to Messina Denaro. However, the real new owner turned out to be Salvatore Riina, with whom Messina Denaro was allied. Antonio Violi Sr. had to resign from the board of the Banco Secola in 1983 because he appeared on the list of the secret Freemason Lodge Propaganda do P2 of Liceo Galli. His son Antonio Violi Jr. became a senator for Silvio Berlusconi's Forza Italia party in 1996, and in April 2001 Undersecretary at the Ministry of the Interior, the institution responsible for fighting organized crime. His cousin Giacomo Violi is a councillor of the Banca Commerciale Italiana, Commit, in Milan, which acquired the Banca Secola in 1991. Matteo's brother Salvatore Messina Denaro, arrested in November 1998, worked at the Banca Secola and continued to work for Commit. Messina Denaro is often portrayed as a ruthless playboy mafioso and womanizer, driving an expensive Porsche sports car and wearing a Rolex Daytona watch, Ray-Ban sunglasses and fancy clothes from Giorgio Armani and Versace. He is an ardent player of computer games, and is said to be the father of an illegitimate child, which is unusual in the conservative culture of the mafia. Messina Denaro has a reputation for fast living and allegedly killed a Sicilian hotel owner who accused him of taking young girls to bed. As such, he is remarkably different from traditional mafia bosses like Salvatore Riina and Bernardo Provenzano, who claim to adhere to conservative family values. Mafia activity. After the natural death of his father in November 1998, Matteo became capomandamento of the area including Castelvetrano and the neighboring cities, while Vincenzo Verga ruled in the city of Trapani and its surroundings. After the arrest of Verga in 2001, Messina Denaro took over the leadership of the mafia in the province of Trapani. He is said to command some 900 men and apparently reorganized the 20 mafia families in Trapani into one single mandamento separated from the rest of Cosa Nostra. The Trapani mafia is considered the giocolo duro, solid pedestal of Cosa Nostra and the most powerful except for the families in Palermo. Messina Denaro gets his money through an extensive extortion racket, forcing businesses to pay a pizzo, protection money and skimming off public construction contracts. The family owns substantial sand quarries. He is also active in the international drug trade, allegedly with the Caruana clan, attracting attention of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI). He also makes money through legitimate business. He has stakes in a Sicilian supermarket chain and owns vast olive groves. He was involved in olive oil production in a corrupt business, which used cheap African labor. According to the Direzione Distrettuale Anti-Mafia (DDA) of Palermo, he has interests in Venezuela and contacts with Colombian drug trafficking cartels as well as the 'Ndrangheta. His illicit networks extend to Belgium and Germany. Matteo Messina Denaro has strong links with mafia families in Palermo, in particular in Brancaccio, territory of the Graviano family. Filippo Guidaparo, the brother of the Giuseppe Guidaparo, the regent of the Brancaccio Mafia while Giuseppe Graviano and Filippo Graviano are in jail, is the brother-in-law of Messina Denaro. They are involved in cocaine trafficking in agreement with 'Ndrangheta clans from Plati, Marina di Gioiosa Ionica and Siderno, as well as the mafia family of Mariano Agate. Fugitive after 1992-93 bombings. After bomb attacks in Capaci and Via D'Amelio that killed prosecutors Giovanni Falcone and Paolo Borsellino, the arrest of Salvatore Riina on the 15th of January 1993 and the introduction of strict prison regime, Article 41 bis, Cosa Nostra embarked on a terrorist campaign in which Matteo Messina Denaro played a prominent role. The remaining mafia bosses, among them Matteo Messina Denaro, Giovanni Brusca, Leo Luca Bagarella, and Nino Giahuo, Giuseppe Graviano and Gioacchino La Barbera, met several times, often in the Santa Flavia area in Bagheria on an estate owned by the mafioso Leonardo Greco. They decided on a strategy to force the Italian state to retreat. That resulted in a series of bomb attacks in the Via dei Giorgio Fili in Florence, in Via Palestro in Milan, in the Piazza San Giovanni in Latrano and Via San Teodoro in Rome, which left 10 people dead and 93 injured, as well as damage to centers of cultural heritage such as the Uffizi Gallery. Messina Denaro also tailed the TV journalist Maurizio Costanzo, host of the Maurizio Costanzo Show, who just escaped a car bomb attack on the 14th of May 1993. He also observed the movements of Giovanni Falcone and the Minister of Justice, Claudio Martelli, in 1991. After the 1993 bombings, Messina Denaro went into hiding as of June 1993. According to investigators, between 1994 and 1996 Messina Denaro spent his hiding place between Aspra and Bagheria with his lover Maria Mazzi, with whom he went on vacation to Greece under the false name of Matteo Curcolisi. In 1995, Messina Denaro, who by then had a daughter from a previous relationship with Francesca Allegna, went to live with his mother. In a letter addressed to a friend, seized by investigators, Messina Denaro revealed that he had never met this daughter. In 2000, Maria Mazzi was arrested, and because police found love letters that she had exchanged with Messina Denaro, the following year she was sentenced to 3 years in prison for aiding and abetting together with her brother Francesco. In July 2006, investigators found other love letters from Maria Mazzi at the home of Filippo Guidaparo, who had the task of delivering them to his brother-in-law Messina Denaro. On the 6th of May 2002, Messina Denaro was sentenced in absentia to life imprisonment for his role in the bombings of 1993. Possible successor of Provenzano. Messina Denaro was one of the Young Turks within Cosa Nostra that wanted to set aside Bernardo Provenzano in 1998, according to the Pentina Giussi Vitali. Next to Messina Denaro, they were Giovanni Brusca, Domenico Raccuglia and Vito Vitali. The younger bosses wanted to take strategic decisions without prior consent of Provenzano. They told him to go home and take care of your family. After the arrest of Bernardo Provenzano on the 11th of April 2006, Matteo Messina Denaro is often mentioned as his successor. His main rivals are supposed to be Salvatore Lo Piccolo, boss of the Mandamento of San Lorenzo in Palermo, and Mimmo Raccuglia from Altofonte. Allegedly Provenzano nominated Messina Denaro in one of his pizzini. Small slips of paper are used to communicate with other mafiosi to avoid phone conversations. Messina Denaro used the pseudonym Alessio in his clandestine correspondence with former mafia boss Provenzano. He suffers from severe myopia and received treatment for this condition at a clinic in Barcelona, Spain in 1994 and 1996. This presupposes that Provenzano has the power to nominate a successor, which is not unanimously accepted among mafia observers. The mafia today is more of a federation and less of an authoritarian state, according to anti-mafia prosecutor Antonio Ingroia of the Direzione Distrettuale Anti-Mafia, DDA of Palermo, referring to the previous period of authoritarian rule under Salvatore Riina. Provenzano established a kind of directorate of about 4 to 7 men who met very infrequently, only when necessary, when there were strategic decisions to make. According to Ingroia, in an organization like the mafia, a boss has to be one step above the others, otherwise it all falls apart. It all depends on if he can manage consensus and if the others agree or rebel. Provenzano guaranteed a measure of stability because he had the authority to quash internal disputes. According to Sergio Lari, deputy chief prosecutor of Palermo, either the directorate can choose a successor or we could again be in for a fiery time. Ingroia said that it was unlikely that there would be an all-out war over who would fill Provenzano's shoes. Right now I don't think that's probable, he said. Of the two possible successors, Ingroia thought Lo Piccolo was the more likely heir to the mafia throne. He's from Palermo and that's still the most powerful mafia stronghold, Ingroia said. After the Lo Piccolo arrest After the arrest of Salvatore Lo Piccolo in November 2007, Messina Denaro is generally viewed as one of the possible leading mafia bosses. According to Antonio Ingroia, one of the prosecutors of the Direzione Distrettuale Anti-Mafia, DDA of Palermo, the main leading figures in Cosa Nostra at the moment, Messina Denaro, Giovanni Riina, Domenico Raccuglia, Pietro Tagliavia and Gianni Nicci, are still too young to be recognized as leading bosses of the organization. The police believes that Messina Denaro is hiding out close to his family home at Castelvetrano, and is moving between safe houses. On the 15th of November 2009, Domenico Raccuglia was arrested in a small town near Trapani, having been convicted in absentia for murder and other crimes, facing 3 life sentences. On the 18th of November 2008, Italian authorities seized €700 million in assets from the supermarket king of Sicily, Giuseppe Grigoli, traceable to Messina Denaro. The assets include 12 businesses, 220 real estate holdings, including villas and apartment blocks, and 133 land holdings for a total of 60 hectares. Grigoli was arrested in December 2007 after authorities found documents linking him to Messina Denaro in the hideout where Provenzano was arrested in April 2006. Grigoli has the exclusive franchise for Western Sicily of the Spar supermarket chain. This is one of the most important operations in recent years, according to Palermo prosecutor Roberto Scarpinato. Investigators believe that through his supermarkets Grigoli was able to launder illicit profits for Cosa Nostra and give a legal cover to mafiosi. Having conquered the food distribution market, Grigoli was able to give jobs to hundreds of people close to Cosa Nostra or recommended by the mafia, Scarpinato said. From evidence discovered on tiny paper scrap messages found in the hut where Provenzano was arrested, Messina Denaro knew to the last comma the accounts of Grigoli's supermarkets, he added. More assets seized in January 2010. Police seized construction companies, villas, shops and vehicles worth some €550 million from a Western Sicilian construction magnate, Rosario Cascio, believed to be one of the main bankrollers and money launderers for Messina Denaro, together with €700 million in assets taken from supermarket magnate Giuseppe Grigoli at the end of 2008 and €200 million from construction tycoon Francesco Pecora in November 2009. In total €1.4 billion were seized, which is seen as a clear reminder of the deep-rooted economic power of Messina Denaro. In September 2010, police seized a record amount of assets worth €1.5 billion from a Sicilian businessman Vito Nicastri accused of working with Messina Denaro. He had invested in wind and solar energy sources, as a way of laundering money. The Italian police is applying a new strategy to try to capture Messina Denaro, arresting scores of his underlings and seizing millions of euros in assets. The circle is closing around the NO.1 fugitive, Interior Minister Roberto Moroni said. Palermo Chief Prosecutor Francesco Messina added that the aim of the strategy against Messina Denaro was to dry up the water he swims in. With the arrest of Gerlandino Messina, the alleged boss of Agrigento, on the 23rd of October 2010 in Favara, Agrigento province, the circle around Messina Denaro tightens even more, as notes addressed specifically to Messina Denaro to discuss territorial division will provide clues to his whereabouts and recent activities. Arrest attempts and later events. On the 15th of March 2010, his brother Salvatore Messina Denaro was arrested along with 18 others in Operation Golem 2. They were part of a network surrounding the mafia boss, and were charged with organizing Messina Denaro's secret correspondence in order to help him remain on the run. Other charges include mafia association, corruption and protection rackets. On the 19th of May 2011, an attempt to arrest Matteo Messina Denaro failed. Police surrounded a manor farm 10 minutes from his hometown Castelvetrano. They were tipped by the Secret Service Agenzia Informazioni Sicurezza Interna, which had provided useful information for the previous arrests of mafia bosses Giuseppe Falzone and Gerlandino Messina. However, there was no trace of Messina Denaro. In 2012, Matteo Messina Denaro was one of 5 that were sentenced to life imprisonment for his role in the murder of Giuseppe Di Matteo. On the 13th of December 2013, Messina Denaro's sister, Patrizia Messina Denaro, was arrested along with several other mafia associates in a serious blow to Messina Denaro by Italian police. On the 17th of April 2018, she was sentenced to 14 years in prison for mafia association, external competition, and attempted extortion. In December 2014, there was a mention of police coming close to apprehending Matteo Messina Denaro after Italian police made an estimated €20 million seizure of assets from him in the form of valuable olive groves in Trapani. Wiretaps had revealed Messina Denaro was receiving funding from the Fountain of Gold olive oil business based in the region. In December 2017, over 200 Italian police officers executed search warrants at properties owned by around 30 Italian mafioso in and near Castelvetrano, his hometown, in search for Messina Denaro. In November 2018, Italian businessman Carmelo Patti, accused of working with Messina Denaro, had €1.5 billion of assets seized by Italian police on the basis that they related to the proceeds of crime. Writings: Matteo Messina Denaro, Salvatore Mugno, 2008. L'Ederis Vitonio. Iritica, in Italian. Viterbo. Stampa Alternativa Nuovi Equilibri. p. 126. ISBN 8862220537. OCLC 3141111721. Via archive.is. See also list of fugitives from justice who disappeared. References. External links, in Italian: Il Papa della Nuova Mafia, by Rino Giacalone, Libera Informazione, the 3rd of December 2008. The World's 10 Most Wanted Fugitives, Forbes magazine, in Italian: Ecco il nuovo capo della mafia, di Peter Gomez e Marco Lillo, L'Espresso, the 12th of April 2001.